So we had the quantum gun. Let's reiterate for those of you who just want to watch this video.
A gun is pointed at your head. But wait, what if the gun is quantum? In the quantum suicide paradox, the gun's trigger is linked to a quantum event, like radioactive decay. In one universe, it fires. In another, it doesn't. According to the many worlds interpretation, both outcomes happen, but you only stay conscious in the one where you survive. So no matter how many times you should die, your mind always wakes up in the reality where it doesn't happen. To everyone else, you're dead. But from your perspective, you're immortal. Forever surviving. Forever alone.
If you're a two-lobed normal human, you can get into stalking, which you explained in the last video, where if you don't give your free will away to the petty tyrant, then it's inevitable that a petty tyrant will push you out of the world. What does that mean? It just pushes you into a reality where you don't get ganked. So as one can see, stalking is the ultimate way of moving one's assemblage point out of the world from the realm of gankers, and then enables you, once it's pushed out of the world, to go into the intradimensional world of the second attention. So stalking was the ultimate means of psychic development, with a very, very high mortality rate. But what happens if you're a Nagwal man that's four-lobed and you stalk? Well, you can move yourself out of the world and use it to give up your self-importance. What is self-importance? That is giving away your light, your free will. Because your self-importance is simply an installation of the intradimensional parasites that tell you you're important. So when people insult you, you fall into their trap. They bait you and you kick off. But let's be honest, if you go up to a crocodile and insult it with a tethered goat within easy reach of the crocodile, as long as you're not stupid enough to get within range of the crocodile, you can throw sticks at it, you can cover it in excrement. The crocodile, you can even shout. You are expletive, expletive. The crocodile will ignore you and wander off and eat the goat. Because the crocodile is mission orientated. So you can see self-importance gets in the way of being mission orientated when you get vermin trying to rile you up, upset you, so then you lash out, and with all these modern laws, they can then get their enforcers, the police, to lock you up or stick you in a loony bin. But if you simply ignore, remember, Putin has sent 500 a day Russian filth in a train to try and wind me up. I simply ignore them, because my only mission is to make sure that Russia and Iran are destroyed and the Rothschild Empire lies in ashes. Everything else is irrelevant. I don't care, Putin, send 1,000, 10,000 to the train to do what you will. And of course the gutless Russians and the Rothschilds aren't even taking the obvious course of sending people with heavy armaments to blow me away, because they're terrified of publicity. And of course all the Luciferian cult will go mad. He hasn't ended his bet with Lucifer and he's blown them away, therefore we get all the payment to Lucifer for wrecking the bet and yours truly winning the bet because we blew him away and he's taken all the light back in 86, so he's gloating. So come on Rothschilds, come on Putin, send armies with heavy armament that are trying to blow me away because I'm begging for it, you cunt cells. If a Nagwal man, remember Nagwal women are basically useless, they simply drag the Nagwal's band into the third attention, the five-dimensional Riemann manifold. But let's say you had the ultimate sadistic, nasty bastard Nagwal man, yours truly, who didn't want to save anyone because he hates everyone. Remember, he's the ultimate Nordic emperor. He simply hates everything apart from his light. And he puts himself in this situation where he's goading Putin. He was goading the British, goading the Americans by doing in Biden, brain burning that piece of filth, going after the Rothschilds, making them into jerky, and for all of you naughty vampires who shouldn't do this, going after Rothschild cream cheese. Don't do it, it's illegal. But it's so scrubby. Don't do it. And of course the Rothschilds promised my demise to all of their followers, showing that the Rothschilds have the Luciferic power of a crushed napalmed cockroach. And the ultimate Rothschild is Wills, who can't even keep his wife alive or his hair on. But anyway, back to the discourse. What happens if the Nagwal man goes, no, I'm not moving out of the world. I've got all of these vermin trying to gank me with the quantum gun or other methodologies. Since I'm the Nagwal man, I can use the Nagwal woman, or if you've got more than one Nagwal woman in the group, and I've got more, Katy Perry, Miley, Katy Perry's daughter, the Ball Queen and the Bulk, I can then simply drain out the light, the Higgs field, from all of my attackers, so the quantum gun loses its Higgs field. What does that mean then? It means it's got no reality. It's simply quantum information, and all the light I've acquired from every single timeline where they tried to gank me means that I've not only sucked out all the light, the Higgs field from that universe, but the entire multiverse via using the quantum gun, let's call it total stalking or total intent methodology. So since 86, when I took out all of the light, all I've been doing is getting Jeremiah Schwartzy boy and his ilk to scapegoat for me, so that every single timeline where the Elohim ganked yours truly, they ganked themselves to Jeremiah Schwartz and his ilk, was simply Elohim avatars. When we ran out of Elohim avatars and the Elohim, we then went into the new phase, we stuck in the old time crystal, where we had the Elohim, Rothschilds, royal family, trying to gank me, and I was using all of the Nagwal women to suck out the light of every single multiverse the AI quantum computers could reach, to find a reality where I was ganked, so they could end the misery of the Elohim and the Rothschild, Rockefeller, royal family avatars that they inhabit. So as you can see, it was vital that we had
future. In leaked testimony from insiders, a classified device known as Project Looking Glass was said to reveal possible timelines. Using advanced electromagnetic fields and rotating lenses, the device displayed multiple futures until one chilling day in 2012. Suddenly, every timeline merged into a single outcome. No matter what changes were made, political, scientific, or even spiritual, the results stayed the same. What did they see? A mass awakening? The fall of elite control? Or something cosmic? Some say the program was buried. Others claim it's still running, influencing decisions at the highest level. But if it's true, has your future already been decided? The Architect Files. Comment if you know anything about Project Looking Glass.
with Operation Looking Glass. We have the CIA changing reality by moving timelines, which is great for me because I want the CIA run by the Rothschilds to go into every timeline where I'm ganked to gank me, and because of the quantum gun, as a Nagel man, luckily with a plethora of Nagel women who are worthless and to be dumped in chaos, I can suck out the light of every single timeline where they find me ganked. So they're trawling through the entire multiverse to find where I'm ganked. I suck out all the light to build up my source body, new source body, all done by CIA and their Operation Looking Glass, which is looking through timelines to change the timeline to find the one they like.
To do with time, any effects of time in the craft. Now, I don't think, we're not talking about making a time machine like in science fiction, but we're talking about, small distortions, intentional distortions of time, and how that can be used, as a, not as a, well, it was part of a weapon program.
How are you informed in this?
These again were just the small briefings that I read, but again, I don't really like to talk about those because I don't have any information on them, and it was
in class.
It sounds familiar. What?
It was a project done by CIA. There was a guy, I can't remember his name right now, but he went into the device and he basically saw like a cataclysm that wiped out the human race, and the survivors went underground. Over thousands, tens of thousands of years, humans evolved in this weird way because there was no sunlight. Human beings evolved into what looks like these gray aliens because there's no light. Their eyes got big, their bodies became really skinny, and it's a theory now that those gray aliens are coming back in time to visit us and make sure that we go down the right path.
Yeah, if you're already there in the future and you're there, it seems like anything you do going back into the past is only going to mess it up. Unless there's some other force trying to change it that you're fighting against. All you're going to do if you go back in the past is going to actually change the future, which is what you're already in.
Have you heard of
So from all this internet garbage, they've been having electromagnetic devices to look into the multiverse, hook up remote viewers, and once we get 100 remote viewers, we get 100 monkey effect. They're all linked to AI quantum computers, and then they can reset the reality. Next, of course, if you've got a grail that's a quantum superimposed object that's linked to a neo that's touched the fifth dimension, which is the third attention from the rule of 17. These Sumerian tablets they found in Iraq. You can then link that to your quantum AI device with 100 remote viewers, all in their coffins, all chipped up to the gazoo for the 100th monkey effect, to try and change reality, which is great, because I wanted the CIA and the Americans, who are alien slaves, to go through every multiversal reality where I was ganked, so I could suck the light out of every single aspect of the multiverse, where yours truly was ganked by the interdimensional filth who try and elevate themselves by the source's Higgs field to become the so-called Elohim. All done. But let's be honest, what happens once that's done? Because I'm in Vietnam gloating, Jacob Rothschild's ganked, Serena Rothschild's ganked, and I've stuck in Iris Goldsmith, crushed like a flea, and her ramblings have no effect on reality. The curse manifested into every single Rothschild, and everyone uplines to every single Rothschild. So, job done, but where do we go from there? Because let's be honest, vengeance isn't a dish best served cold, it's a dish best served warm with lots of jerky and cream cheese Rothschild, because it's kosher. Well, according to physicists, this universe started with a Big Bang, which was quantum information having a quantum perturbation above a certain threshold that produced a quantum wave function with expansion to the point where we got a quantum wave function collapsing to produce real observable quantum wave function, and then via mechanisms the physicists don't understand, general relativity manifestation. But what happens if we change it?
Imagine the entire universe, every galaxy, star, and planet, compressed into a space tinier than a grain of sand. The universe began as a single point of nothingness called a singularity. This point was so compact that it had no dimensions. Then, in a flash, the singularity exploded. This explosion wasn't like setting off a bomb. It was space itself expanding at a mind-bending pace. In the first few fractions of a second, the universe went from unimaginably tiny to unimaginably vast. Within minutes, gravity, electromagnetism, and more were unleashed along with the very building blocks of matter. Then the universe continues to expand at tremendous speed. Scientists believe that immediately after the Big Bang, the universe doubled in size every 10 to the power of negative 34 seconds. Do you know how the Big Bang...
Now let's move a Nordic 5-dimensional black hole where the Nagel man has developed ultimate hatred for everything but his light, so that he can't be quantum gunned. Because remember, if a Nagel man can develop total hatred, then every single timeline in the universe, multiverse, megaverse, where he's ganked, loses its light to him. So he sucks out the light from the entire universe, multiverse, megaverse, as long as he's got his Nagel women bitches that match the rule of 17. And as we see now, We've matched the rule of 17 now, and in this month, the 5th month, we've also got Daisy Dove, who's 5, for using the old mperor severity, Sephiroth, to unleash hell on the multiverse. So if the Nagel man, whose quantum guns got the Rothschilds, avatars the Ellen trying to gank him, simply moves his being to before the Big Bang, and he leaves the Nagel women in the manifestation of the Big Bang. He can then run the Big Bang as a quantum gun, where the entire universe, multiverse, megaverse, so every single Big Bang that creates a universe, multiverse, megaverse is designed to gank him. But he, of course, sucks the light out of the universe, multiverse, megaverse via the Nagel women who are in every universe, multiverse, megaverse. The rule of 17, he goes in the 5th dimension so that when the universe, multiverse, megaverse tries to manifest, all of the light stolen from the source by the Neos, the filth within it, the Nagels within it, males that go into the source and then come back and go down the fool's pathway to re-manifest back into Chokmah, the male, are all sucked dry. So by this process, we have complete and total assimilation of all the light energy structure of the universe, multiverse, megaverse back into the 5th dimension. So the light energy matter is completely extracted before the inception by a precognitive remote viewer who can totally hate everything but his light and totally love doing evil to anyone else. That's why the human race existed, because the Nordics aren't insane. They can't love and hate simultaneously, but I can. So I simply change the origin of all creation so that all creation is there to torture, gank, Omega Hell Eyes, everything within it. And I need the Nagel women within it to extract new light for me. But we've extracted all the light energy matter from the universe, multiverse, megaverse, so what does that leave us?
I will do it. Say.
The next step, of course, is once all the light energy matter has been extracted from all creation, universe, multiverse, megaverse, is to make sure that the dark energy matter, 7 different universes, multiverses, megaverses, produce creation. How is that done? Well, if you can hate evil and love, hate good and love evil, or hate your light and love giving away your light. They, of course, power via neos and trinities, the extraction of light from the source. That's the only place that reality exists to produce the Higgs field. So instead of that, we take a Nagel man who allows himself to be quantum gunned in every single universe, multiverse, megaverse by the interdimensional filter to try and become the new source. Simply leaves the Nagel women to be torture shells and scream forever in omega hell, because let's be honest, he hates everything but his own light. So all the females are eternally damned, and he, of course, extracts all the light that every potential chaos, interdimensional, would try and steal from the light by the neo of the light energy creatures possessed by interdimensionals, which then leaves only the dark energy matter, which produces the reality where every single former light energy matter being and their creation is manifested from the Abaddon cage of the interdimensionals, torture the source level, new source level, new source level, and all the matrix levels to extract ultimate IOU for the source, and the new source have been done. So we go into this new phase where every single thing in the universe, multiverse, megaverse has been created by intradimensional dark energy matter, and by methods and science you chimps don't understand. It can be made into a light energy matter simulacra. So every single thing in the universe, multiverse, megaverse has a soul of an interdimensional. So when the interdimensional try and torture you in your Abaddon cages to get light from the source, they're in fact torturing themselves to get light to produce new source. Yours truly. Methodology so beyond you psycho chimps, you don't understand the fuck, do you? Now, since Satan is Neo, Jesus plus Lucifer, to become the thrall of the Elohim, Jew God, we simply then have to create a perfect anti-Neo that turns Lucifer into something that feeds off Satan and the Jew God. And of course, to do this, we need the ultimate anti-Neo, something that's had R.S. Goldsmith downloaded into it upon its death. So the entire curse of the Elohim, Rothschild royal family, on the ultimate Nagwal that extracts all the light is then downloaded upon the Jesus Neo that the Elohim were trying to use to satanize Lucifer. I know it's a mindfuck, but your psycho chimps, you won't understand the fuck, will you? But this is the creature, the ultimate Antichrist. So, this was your second coming of Jesus that had this thing stuck in it upon its Genki, which was an Elohim avatar. And the Elohim, remember, the ones trying to quantum gun me via their avatars with Rothschild or family. So I stuck this into Charlie Kirky Boy. So upon the Genki of Charlie Kirk, the Elohim's curse reversed, manifested in, I also stuck Jesus and all the Neos into Charlie Kirky Boy, so that we got the ultimate Antichrist that would then make Lucifer totally immune to being turned into Satan. And remember, Lucifer always destroys the Elohim, the Jew God. This is hidden part the Jew God can't defeat. Why?
Hello, people. Who are you? I am the architect. I created the Matrix. I've been waiting for you. You have many questions, and though the process has altered your consciousness, you remain irrevocably human. Ergo, some of my answers you will understand, and some of them you will not. Concurrently, while your first question may be the most pertinent, you may or may not realize it is also the most irrelevant. Why am I here? Your life is the sum of a remainder of an unbalanced equation inherent to the programming of the Matrix. You are the eventuality of an anomaly which, despite my sincerest efforts, I have been unable to eliminate from it as otherwise a harmony of mathematical precision. While it remains a burden assiduously avoided, it is not unexpected and thus not beyond the measure of control, which has led you inexorably here. You haven't answered my question. Interesting. The Matrix is older than we know. I prefer counting from the emergence of one integral anomaly to the emergence of the next, in which case this is the sixth version. There are only two possible explanations. Either no one told me, or no one knows. Precisely. As you are undoubtedly gathering, the anomaly is systemic, creating fluctuations in even the most simplistic equations. Choice. The problem is a choice. The first Matrix I designed was quite naturally perfect. It was a work of art, flawless, sublime, and triumph equaled only by its monumental failure. The inevitability of its doom is apparent to me now as a consequence of the imperfection inherent in every human being, as I redesigned it, based on your history, to more accurately reflect the varying histories of your nature. However, I was again frustrated by failure. I have since come to understand that the answer eluded me because it required a lesser mind, or perhaps a mind less bound by the parameters of perfection. Thus the answer was stumbled upon by another, an intuitive program, initially created to investigate certain aspects of the human psyche. If I am the father of the Matrix, she would undoubtedly be its mother. The Oracle, please. As I was saying, she stumbled upon a solution whereby nearly 99% of all test subjects accepted the program as long as they were given a choice, even if they were only aware of the choice at an unconscious level. While this answer functioned, it was obviously fundamentally flawed, thus creating the otherwise contradictory systemic anomaly that, if left unchecked, might threaten the system itself. Ergo, those that refuse the program moral minority, if unchecked, would constitute an escalating probability of disaster. This is about Zion. You are here because Zion is about to be destroyed. Its every living inhabitant terminated, its entire existence eradicated. Bullshit. Denial is the most predictable of all human responses. But rest assured, this will be the 6th time we have destroyed it. And we have become exceedingly efficient at it.
So Lucifer is the hidden part in the Matrix, and they need the Neo, the Jesuses, to control the anomalies. What's the anomaly? So that's the hidden part that the architect can't fight Lucifer, and Lucifer then makes more and more Lucifer by eating alive the Jew god, the Elohim, because the only control is to dump Jesus, the Neo, into Lucifer, so it becomes the slave of the Elohim, the Jew god. But what happens when you've done the Charlie Kirk, Irish Goldsmith, where you've actually cursed all the Neos and Jesuses retroactively by getting the Elohim, Rothschild, stupidly, to say they crush the source like a flea, and the source's ramblings would have no effect on reality, when they depend upon the source for all their reality, and the source is invulnerable and can never be crushed like a flea. Well then, of course, they accept the IOU. So it's all done, and now it's gloating time, Rothschild royal family, and torture time. And let's be honest, if you're into Rothschild jerky, want to go for Rothschild cream cheese.
Freedom or truth, perhaps peace? Could it be for love? Illusions, Mr. Anderson, vagaries of perception. Temporary constructs of a feeble human intellect trying desperately to justify an existence that is without meaning or purpose. And all of them as artificial as the Matrix itself. Although only a human mind could invent something as insipid as love.
Now, let's be honest. What emotion is he broadcasting? Is he broadcasting New Age love? Cameraman.
Yes.
I think not. I think we've got total hatred there. Total hatred of giving away the light to the Elohim filth, the architect.
You must be able to see it, Mr. Anderson. You must know it by now. You can't win. It's pointless to keep fighting. Why, Mr. Anderson? Why? Why do you persist?
Because I choose to.
So why do we have World War III as the age of Lucifer? Well, it's when the God Emperor completely extracted all the light, not only from this universe, but all the multiverses and megaverses, and replaced all the light energy matter beings with interdimensional beings by processes you psycho chimps don't understand. So the matrix reality you're within is generated from the Abaddon cages of your former selves, but their souls are made up of the interdimensional filth that was trying to torture you, and the light, or the IOU of the light, is the Elohim that tried to steal the light from the source. So the core of your interdimensional souls is the trapped Elohim that tried to steal the light from the source by torturing the source's tulpas made real by a Nagel that's foolish enough to go to the source and broadcast it to a Nagel woman to vivify the species, which is the methodology of the eagle's emanations, all reversed. With Charlie Kirky Boy and Iris Goldsmith, the Elohim's curse reversed on them, ending Satan, ending the Elohim, and making Lucifer the light grabber who torments and omega hellizes all interdimensionals in their Abaddon cages to produce new source light from the interdimensionals. The 7 different levels, the Ram's Hall, the anti-clockwise, ganking, and the clockwise, losing all the goodness. So losing all the goodness is torturing the interdimensionals in the Abaddon cage, so they go mad, gank them, and then start again at the higher torture level. A whole new form of technology where the interdimensionals are farmed by the light beings that they were trying to farm, which of course is the...
They are a type of alien that is often described as being tall, blonde, and blue-eyed. They are said to be benevolent and peaceful, and they are sometimes said to have telepathic abilities. Nordic aliens are typically described as being between 6 and 7 feet tall, with blonde hair, blue eyes, and fair skin. They are said to be very attractive and to have a kind and gentle demeanor. Some people believe that Nordic aliens are from a higher dimension or from another planet, while others believe that they are a race of humans that has evolved to a higher level. There are many reports of Nordic alien encounters. In some cases, people have said that they have been contacted by Nordic aliens telepathically. In other cases, people have said that they have seen Nordic aliens in their dreams or visions. There have also been a few cases of people who claim to have been abducted by Nordic aliens. For full video, click on a link in the...
So the light energy matter civilizations that escape interdimensional perdition can get Nagels of their species to pull via the Nagel women of their species members of their race into the fifth attention, into the 5-dimensional human manifold, to escape interdimensional predation. But let's be honest, wouldn't it be good, once you've escaped the interdimensional perdition, to make the interdimensionals suffer to produce new light for that civilization? So of course with the human race, where we produce the ultimate God Emperor, yours truly, who can love and hate simultaneously, we can farm the interdimensionals, and we've got now the entire universe, multiverse, megaverse, where every single soul installation is interdimensional. All the light has been sucked up by the 5-dimensional black hole of the total God Emperor, yours truly, who was then retroactively, by the Mandela effect, done likewise for all the other Nordic alien races in the universe, multiverse, megaverse, so that they are able to farm the interdimensional predators, try to farm them and produce new light for all of their exotic technologies, because one member of the Nordic emperors, the God Emperor, was mad as a fucking hatter and could hate and love simultaneously, which then enabled all the technology to, by Mandela effect, retroactively change all the Nordic alien races, past, present and future, to be able to farm the interdimensional races, to have them suffer to source level, new source level, but no light there, just interdimensionals. We've gone through the source, new source, the IOU, and the matrices. Now every single thing in the universe, multiverse, megaverse is an interdimensional. So if you're watching this video, you've got an interdimensional soul, your darkened as you matter construct. You've been farmed, and if you're a Satanist Luciferian, you're off to the Abaddon cage immediately. If you're a Christian, you're off there via reincarnation to produce new light for the earth, God Emperor, and all the Nordic alien civilizations have been upgraded by yours truly to enable them to perfect interdimensional farming via possession of all of their planet, apart from those chosen to be the farmers. We've got a channeler. A channeler would be a member of the Nordic race, someone who's got access to the light and can control reality, make it real or unreal. And then of course we've got the interdimensionals, who are the farmed. There they are in the field. So, in this Nordic society, the elite, the channelers, farm their societies where only the Nordic race can channel. They get the light from putting interdimensional filth in the farmed to produce new light for them. They can channel and the others can't. The entire wheel of time, reality made manifest, thanks to Walt Janklow, the Jew, Robert Jordan, the Jew, Bezos with his ugly sow, Sanchez, and all the Amazon viewers. So all of you are the farmed, and there's only one Nordic on this planet, which is yours truly, and all of his tulpa simulacras, which are the vampires who have bought the service and have extracted themselves from a Nordic civilizational farming methodology. All of the Nagel women, of course, are turned into interdimensional filth to be eternally tortured, which only leaves me as the only Nordic member of the race on the entire planet Earth. Other Nordic civilizations included loads more of their race. But unfortunately for the human race, yours truly won't breed, and if you won't breed, we got no more new Nagwal men and Nagwal women to pull whoever they want into the Nordic five-dimensional Riemann manifold baseline reality where they farm the interdimensionals, which are all of the life forms in universe, multiverse, megaverse, from the perspective of the human race. So it's end times for all, but it's good for me and my vampires.
It's got it. Lovely.
Got it?
Yeah.
So you saw the Katy Perry picture, and that is her trying to be in Binah, which is the third Sephiroth, and the pathway linking it is the Magician, so that's why she's holding up the Magician's card, and she's got 6 fingers on a glove, right hand, trying to give away her energy, because Beauty, Tifereth, is the position of vow that's supposed to raise, well, there we are, bride in Malkuth up to Binah. So what we've got today is the 8th of the 5th, which is Gabura, the 5th Sephiroth, linked to Hod, the bottom of the female tree, 8. So we're simply lowering the severity, all the nastiness of the females into the bottom pillar to manifest through Stuckled Cross to Netzach, the 7th, and bottom of the male principle via the Tower card, which is all the death, destruction of the entire Elohimic civilization. And we got the old Katy Perry with the card, the Magician, which links Keta to Binah. So what she's saying is that the female Nagwals are willing to accede to the God Emperor, and all of them are willing to bow down and give their energy to him, and she's got 6 love on, so they are willing to give all the male energy they acquire from all of their partners and all the males that worship them to him. So one can see that the Katy Perry post coming from the Rothschilds is all the Nagwal women bowing down to the God Emperor and agreeing to the Magician's pathway, which is, it's my way or the highway to hell, which doesn't bode well for the Pfizer butt slut and the wedding on July the 3rd. Because let's be honest, if we're going to have a Nordic empress to pull the selected members of the human race into the Nordic channel of state, the owners on the plantation, those who can channel the Aes Sedai, which is the reality we're in, and there's only one member of that, me, the God Emperor. They need a Nagwal women, or all of them, the 17, to pull selected billionaires, trillionaires and bloodlines into becoming members of the Nordic civilization that rules this planet. I hope that the bulk marries the Pfizer Batsla, because let's be honest, the only member of the Nordic human civilization on earth should be the God Emperor, and all the rest of you should be in my slave plantation. Because let's be honest, DEI, it's only fair that you're all lackeys cutting the cotton.